My original brand started out, strangely enough, growth hacking, where I co-built a Facebook app that got 20 million installs pretty quickly. I used that as my calling card when I was going and talking to entrepreneurs. This was back in the early growth hacking days, before growth hacking had a bad name. A friend told me about Twitter, and I tried it, and I liked the product. At the time, it was all text message based. This is pre-app. I tracked down Evan Williams, and Ev had just given back investors a bunch of money for a failed podcasting venture called Audio. He'd kept Twitter, which was the one thing out of that studio that looked interesting, but it was still very much a toy. I went to Ev about investing. At that point, his round was done. He had a little bit of allocation left, and he basically was posing the question of, well, why should I let you invest? I got up on the whiteboard and I laid out what little I knew at the time about growth hacking. This was before Andrew Chen blew it open for the world. I did that for about half an hour while he and his deputy watched. And at the end, he said, this sounds great. We're not going to do any of it because it's against our ethos. And I respected him for that. But he was impressed enough that I cared and I thought about it, that I got a chance to put into Twitter. And that was my first major angel investment that worked out.
Are there any new angel investors that you think have done a good job of building a brand recently?
I don't know if they necessarily build a brand to invest, but I think they'll have a brand through their natural activities, and then that will give them the ability to invest. The rest of it, the judgment, the capital, and so on, is still up to them. I think Ryan Hoover has a great brand. His Twitter game is among the best I've seen in the world. He's always community building on Twitter just by the side effect of breathing. He's going to have a good brand as an angel investor, especially into consumerish things. Another good brand is Patri Friedman. He's basically investing in startup countries and sovereign individual projects. It's a unique enough thesis and a unique enough angle that all the libertarian types and all the free state types are going to flock to him. Just by being the first one to put down a stake in the ground and saying, I'm going to fund these kinds of activities, means he'll get to see all of the limited deal flow in that space. And at the same time, there are lots of other projects, especially in crypto, that aren't necessarily about starting a free state, but they overlap. And the people who start those companies have sympathies towards free state projects and are themselves sovereign individuals. These are the people who signed the petitions to free Ross Ulbricht and Julian Assange and so on. And I'm one of them, by the way. So they're going to be naturally inclined towards letting him invest.